Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you how to solve the Rubiks clock faster. Now, this method will get you down to sub 30 at the most. But if you practice hard enough, practice and learn the method, it will get you down to sub 10 seconds. And depending on the scramble, there's several notice that I noticed when I use this method that gets you fast by doing some steps within another step, which is faster. Like, I'll start explaining the step and then explaining the quickness of each part. Like, the very first part is the normal part, where you get the cross, like so. But sometimes when you do it where you get this middle one lined up with one of these other four pieces, and then pick another, then once you get it lined up, pick another one of the three pieces, and then once you get that lined up, and then you line it up with the last, with another of the two pieces, and then line it up with the last piece. But sometimes, what I did earlier, I lined it up with this one, this lined up with that one, then lined up with that one, but at the same time, this lined it up with that, and so all I have to do was line up these three with these two. And that's a big step that's quicker. And then this next step is flip it over, and then solve this top three, then these top, and then these, and then these. How we're gonna do it is take this and move this middle one, and then line it up with one of these two. Like, in order for you to line it up, you have to push the pin over, and then move it to the correct position, and then move it up so that it's lined up with these. And then, next part is lining up these three, and then these three. But during this part, there's several cases where it could happen, where after you've done this, you'll notice something like this, where, like, these two are lined up in the correct, like, where they're in the same time position, and then these two are in the same time position but different from these, and these are same but different from the other four. And so with that, you'll get a lucky case where once you line up the clocks, you'll get a case where you have all four of these lined up in the correct position, and all you have to do is line it up. And yeah, and that's easy. But there's a case where once you do this middle row, all four of these will be in random position. Like, this one will be at 12 o'clock, this one will be at 5 o'clock, this one will be at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and with that, you have to do what you did for the top row to align for the middle row, then basically you put, after you do these 3, then these 6, and then get this one where you have it lined up with these, get these 6 lined up with this one, and then push those down, then move that, like, you have to get it so that you have, like, after you got the middle rows lined up, like that, you have to get this one aligned with these other 6, and then once you do that, you have to put these 3, like, let's say you're going for getting this one lined up with the others, you push all of the pins up except for the one that's near to the corner that you want to line up, and then move one of the other gears other than the corner that you want to line up so that it lines up correctly to the one over here. And then with that, basically you do that and then switch over to this other one, and that's easy. Basically, this can give you like really good time, and there's lucky cases where you have, basically there are lucky cases where, like, when you start off with the first step, which is solving the cross, sometimes you would have where this lucky case happens where after you pair up like a certain piece, certain clock with the middle clock, then the rest of the clocks are on the same, or all lined up. So you have to turn these so that it's lined up. And then over here, after you do the top row, these bottom 6 will be in a certain pattern where that you do couple moves off. It's just like couple moves off to the solve position. And basically that's a really fast method of solving the clock. And if you work at it, you can get like sub 10 average with this clock method. It's way better than the Pachman method, where the Pachman method is solve the cross, flip over, solve the cross, then the corners. Or the way I did it, where I did the cross, then the corners, flip over, cross, then the corners again. Yeah. Because with that method, I actually got like a minute and a half second, like a minute and a half solve time with it. And that's like really painful. And like when I did that in one of my competition last year in the springtime, I was like, oh god, if I had gotten like 30 seconds on it, I would probably got an award, like award for getting into a certain place with it, yeah. But at that time I wasn't that fast at clock. But once I've discovered this method, it's a lot better.